Hello, my name is Neha, and I am taking a break from my studies for 1 year. So I decided I might as well read, do some reading, and see how much I can read within the time span I have. So the first book I consider I read for this journey is the Song of Achilles, because I love the idea of retelling of mythology, because I did have the Iliad and Odyssey, and it was not my cup of tea. It was hard as fuck to read it. So I thought I might as well just start with easier stuff. So the Song of Achilles, what does it made me feel? What did it make me feel? Sorry for my English, it's not that good. Just bear with me, I'm learning. This is my learning process. So let me read the cover. Greece in the age of heroes, Patroclus, an awkward young prince, had been exiled to the court of King Peleus and his perfect son Achilles. Despite their differences, Achilles befriends and the shamed prince as they grow into young men skilled in the arts of war and medicine, and their bond blossom into something deeper despite the displeasure of Achilles' mother Thetis, a cruel sea goddess. But when the word comes that Helen of Sparta has been kidnapped, Achilles must go to a war in distant Troy and fulfill his destiny. Torn between love and fear for his friend, Patroclus goes with him, little knowing that the years that follow will test everything they hold dear. He was not his friend, he was his lover. Whatever. Yeah, their relationship, they never really defined it as lovers, but they were lovers because they were doing things that a lover would. People really knew that they were lovers, but it wasn't mentioned single time that they were lovers. They were in open relationship, I guess. Their relationship, because Achilles had his son who will be future, what was that word? Aristos Achion, whatever. I know what it means. Best of something. Forgot what it means. Sorry, I read it a little while before, and then I read Night Shade. Sorry, my Bengali accent, I can't pronounce shit. So, what did I talk about? The first chapter. Should I go chapter by chapter? Oh, I didn't thought much about in first chapter. The second chapter. Yeah, first and second was really the introduction and that setting of background information. I lack the vocabulary to describe what I'm thinking. Setting up the scene. Yeah, like what happens in the past and all those things. So in actually in the second chapter we get to know who what was the name of the protagonist. That was Patroclus. Yeah, in the second chapter. The first chapter they don't name him, I think. Whatever. He was son of Menoetius. Yeah. And the second chapter talks about how Helen married or found her husband, suitor, husband, because they married. So, and they all took an oath that they will protect Helen and the person he will choose, she will choose, and everything will be civil. Because the ancient men were not civil, they needed to take extra precautions. Then Patroclus whacks someone on the head and he dies, and he goes to Plithia. Let's assume it's Plithia. I don't know what's the pronunciation is. Yeah, his father just up and left him because he agreed that yes, he did injure the boy, and as Patroclus was weak, it was more profitable just to dump him on someone else and leave him there than just take accountability, I guess. Ooh, old times. Mad shit. Yeah. Now, the first person I dislike in this book is Peleus, whatever. He was described as one of those men whom the gods love, not divine himself, but clever, brave, handsome, and excelling in his peers in piety. As a reward, the divinities offered him a sea nymph for a wife. Did they ask the wife if she wanted to be the wife? The girl, the nymph, if she wanted to be the wife? No, they just said, she, her, you can get her. What did he did? The mortal was like, fuck yeah. Why I dislike him? Let's get into that. Peleus was a pious and obedient man and did all that the gods had instructed him to do. He waited for her to emerge from the slate-colored waves and hear back and long as a horse's tail. Then he seized her, holding on despite her violent struggle, squeezed until they were both exhausted, breathless, and sand-script. The blood from the wounds she had given him mixed with smears of lost maidenhead on her thighs. Her resistance mattered no longer. A deflowering was as binding as marriage vows. He raped her. They didn't get married. She was his wife by default of rape. Don't you just love that? You don't give your consent to marriage, so they just raped her. I'm not offended. Why should I be? I'm just old times. Next line, which interested me. An ordinary wife would have counted herself lucky to find a husband with Peleus' mildness and smile-lined face. Mildness and smile-lined face. But for the sea nymph, Tethys, nothing could have eclipsed the stain of his dirty mortal mediocrity. I don't think that was only the problem, but whatever. And someone raped me into marriage. His smile lines and his mildness is not what I would think. Whatever. This is a good poem, but it really fucks with you. I love the like, just because it's fantasy and mythology, it doesn't mean that it doesn't slap you with reality. Because shit like this probably happens now too. So whatever. Next thing. How did I like it? Yeah, and Patroclus does get nightmares when he killed that one guy. Sad. And then he was envious. Oh, so cute. Achilles and Patroclus had enemies to friendship trope. No, enemies to lovers trope. In the 4th chapter. So cute. Then they have some ups and downs, and Achilles chose Patroclus to be his close aide, like someone to study with, be with, best friend type of thing. I guess. I don't know. I was not there. I don't know what it's called. I don't remember. I don't care to read again to know it. Yeah, and the mother doesn't stay with the family. She stays in the caves of sea and occasionally visit Achilles. Not occasionally. Oh my god! Not occasionally. I think it's a weekly incident. Not incident. Weekly visitation. Yeah. Another line which I liked is from chapter 6. It had been less a presence than absence, a laying aside of dread. He talks about how. What does it? Like how he is being able to express himself, live as his father was not present in his life anymore, so he's more expressive, more free to experience things. So it's not about his absence, but more of his presence. I don't know. Yeah, I do. I think I know. I understand what it is or what they're saying, but I don't. One thing that fucks with me on a spiritual level, I guess. Peleus was an exception, a man of modesty. What modesty? What modesty? What fucking modesty? Maybe because I'm born in this day and age. Yeah, I'm lucky. I'm fucking lucky. Hooray, fuck yeah. See, I have so many books I can read. I can be messy, whatever. No one cares. I can just drop it tomorrow. People will care of that. But I don't have any responsibility other than to read. I think that's a great thing. Privilege. Whatever. Next. Yeah, they grew so cute descriptions of how they grow old, not old, grow up together, and their experiences with each other, and some romantic tidbits. and then they go. Why didn't I mark this? See, I didn't mark it. Why didn't I mark it? I don't know. But I didn't mark this one. See here, you can see it. Cute. So they kiss. That's what I meant. And he's like, dear God, let him not hit me. He won't. He will love you forever. Till the day he dies. So cute. Another sentence that stuck out to me was, a mother's wish in our country, they were not worth much, but she was a goddess first and always. So unless you're pulling your weight, your wishes are not worth much as a woman. So he gets sent to a hill to learn with Master Chiron, a centaur. Yeah, and they really enjoy learning stuffs from him. I like Chiron. I think other than Patroclus and the other girl I liked was, what was her name? Anyways, I drew her because I liked her so much. Yeah, Briseis. See, I drew her Briseis because I liked her. Yay! What do you think of this? Cute. Apart from Briseis and Patroclus, Chiron, my three favorite characters in this book. Why 16 was their last year of their childhood? Their father named them men. Thank God it doesn't happen that way now. 16, an adult to make me laugh. On page 96, another thing I liked. See, I liked it, that's why I drew. His eyes opened. Name one hero who was happy. I considered. Heracles went mad and killed his family. Theseus lost his bride and father. Jason's children and new wife were murdered by his old Bellerophon killed the Chimera, but was crippled by the fall from Pegasus's back. You can't. He was sitting up now, leaning forward. I can't. I know. They never let you be famous and happy. He lifted an eyebrow. I will tell you a secret. Tell me. I loved it when he was like this. I'm going to be the first. He took my palm and held it to his. Swear it. Why me? Because you are the reason. Swear it. I swear it. I said, lost in high colors of his cheeks and flames in his eyes. I swear it, he echoed. We sat like that a moment, hands touching. He grinned. I feel like I could eat the world raw. Do I say everything I liked about it? It's a thick book. If I read thicker book, I will have to speak for so many minutes. Yeah. I just realized I cried while reading this book. Why am I reviewing it? It fucking sucks. See, this is Storm, and the purple flowers indicating that I hated reading about it. Want to read that? You can read it. Oh, another thing, I liked it. See, cutie cutie. Media. Oh my god, let me tell. Datamia. Datamia. She's just one foolish girl. Yeah, foolish. I can't. Is she foolish? I mean, Achilles was handsome. And if your goddess tells you that he will be your husband, will you really object? Like, handsome, semi-god, whatever he's called, half god, and I get to marry him. He will be strongest of the world. I'll marry him. I'll be this foolish little bitch. Relatable. Whatever. So she got pregnant with Achilles. I don't really understand the ambiguity. Like, why doesn't Achilles just say no to what is his mother's name? I just read it. I still forgot. Whatever. Achilles' mother. Why didn't he just say no? Like, he just went with it and she had sex with her. Like, how they are just giving marriage. I mean, I don't really care about marriage. Like, you know how I feel. I don't know how I feel. How should I say? So, I'm pretty like whatever about marriage. More like, how should I say? If they're going to pretend to be married, they just have sex from it. Oh, I just don't understand how to describe it. Yes, so what I was saying was that marriage is supposed to be meaningful, I guess, and just having sex to say that now you are a married couple really takes all the fun out of it. Like the fairy tale which we were sold, it just reduced to like a forceful binding. They both don't want to be with each other, but they're married because they had sex. But people do get married for that reason, I guess. That's what I meant when I said it slaps you with reality, because we like to read fantasy, the good things, and it really have some pretty, like it really shows some deep stuff from the society, how it exactly happens in society. Maybe it might happen. It really shows that, and it really makes you think like, oh, people do experience that kind of things also in their lives. I think I like this book because of that. And that's the end of the first part of the book, because the second part of the book is about war and all those things, and I need to prepare myself. I just winged it for the first half. For the second half, I need to collect my thoughts. Bye bye.